Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, rather, and welcome to all of the civil engineers who are with us today. And this session of bootcamp that we have planned for 5 days would give you a glimpse about the career objectives that a lot of civil engineers who are in their pre-final year, who are in their final year, face issues in. So Protrainy has brought in this session to enlighten you so that you do not stand on a queue that you do not have an idea that what next after civil engineering. We have done a extensive research in understanding the market. We as a company are NSRC Lion Bangalore pre-incubated edtech startup. Also, we are recognized by Nexus, that is US Embassy's India venture. We, before start, have to let you know what are the steps that you need to follow up. So as you know, the session is directly telecasted to all the students of the curated partner colleges today. And for the next, starting today, next 5 days, you will be walking with us through the journey that will certainly enlighten you about the career prospects that you might not have an idea till now. So couple of instructions. You can use Slido, that is SLI.do. You can just log on to that and use hashtag PROTRAINY and post your questions like any times you would have posted in maybe if you were connected with Zoom, etc. Since we are using a new technology out here as a Slido, so that a lot of polls can be done, we will be having more interactions and all. There would be a slight delay of 30 seconds because it has been telecasted, but it is live. Your questions would be answered and every questions would be taken care of. So first of all, you will have to log into your Slido account because I will be asking a lot of questions and you will be posting a lot of questions to us so that we can at the end of the session give you an idea about what the session holds on. So we will first of all go ahead and give you a glimpse of the first question that is around the corner because it's already 5 o'clock and it's more than that rather. We will start off how to understand you better so that we can take you to the next journey. So I hope everyone out there has logged in at Slido. Again, I'm telling SLI.do. Use hashtag PROTRAINY to log in. The hashtag would be there at Slido account. Just write PROTRAINY already in the screen, you can see. And after that, you can go and check out and post your questions. Feel free to do that. Let us do it for you. Let's say it's the slido.com you can use. You can also use sli.do, anything you can use. Both the websites work. Same thing. We'll post the first question for you. This is the basic question that anyone would have, right? So we will have the first question for you guys. So many of you might have had every time a question that who has pushed you to do what I'll say, choose civil engineering, right? The question should be there at your screen. You can just please hurry up, give your answers. We need more answers because that will help us to give you an idea and the answers is right in your screen. Please feel free, no one is checking it out that who are you. You can tell if it is for fun, if it is for peer pressure, if it is for government jobs, if is it you. Okay, we are just getting out a lot of answers on that you chose yourself about the civil engineer. A lot of you chose because it was a government job, but we only have 12 answers till now. You can see in the screen, please give a more varied idea so that we can take it up from here and give you an idea. Okay, so some of you have taken it for fun, that's great. And there's no one who has taken for family pressure. That's a great thing. Maybe 3 Idiots was done with a haste without a lot of studies. As we can understand, a lot of the civil engineers have done this because they wanted to do it, right? We'll wait for one more second before we close this and go to the next question. I just need to understand that what holds you accountable for the career choice that you have done. Because a lot of you would be confused that I didn't get mechanical, IT, CS, that's why I came for this thing, right? Civil engineering. Peer pressure also. Okay, so a lot of people have said this thing. We have got a couple of answers out here. We'll go ahead and give you the second question. Okay, so the second question is right on your screen. You can just hurry up and put up your answers out there. After third year and after fourth year, you are majorly students who are in the third year, fourth year. Just please, we have to complete it as soon as possible. I don't think it takes hardly a 1 or 2 seconds to do this. Can we get number of answers? Please do it. Like family business, private or construction jobs, government jobs, family businesses, IT company, or a lot of people can decide to be an entrepreneur. We need answers so that we can take you through the journey that you are waiting to get enlightened about. Okay, so there's a clash between private and government jobs, and still there are no family business. Okay, we are getting people for the family business. There are a lot of people who want to be entrepreneurs after doing the civil engineering. There might be a lot of people from the management of the colleges. They will also get a good idea about what and how they should be taking care of these young fresh graduates out here. A couple of more minutes. We're not getting more response. We just have see, everyone has to be a part of this. See, we have crafted it in such a way that it can make a big difference, and we will make it. After you join the session of a boot camp and you graduate after 5 days, we are pretty much sure it is going to change, enlighten you. So we only have got 30-40 people out there who have given the answers after 3, 3rd year, 4th year. What is your goal? If you do not know, I'm sorry, it's a very bad scene for you. If you do not know what you need to do after 3rd year, there are all options that we have captured. It can be a private construction company, it can be a government job, it can be an entrepreneur, it can be on higher studies, it can be a family business, or either you can also go out for an IT company. You can go for anything. So a lot of people, the majority of the people have given, couple of more we are waiting. A lot of people have given an answer that they want to go for a private construction job. So here we start the PPT. We'll pause out here. The questions are still open. If you want, you can keep on putting your answers on this question. Till that time, let's move on to the next shift and take you through the journey that we have promised to take you up. So this is the first question that we asked you, that why you chose civil engineering. It can be you, it can be family pressure, it can be your peer pressure, it can be for friends. A lot of people have mentioned for fun. It was a great thing that people have mentioned for fun, but yeah, after 4th year, there is no fun. After you graduate, there is no fun. So what civil engineering is? Civil engineering, the definitions, we are not going to make it a very theoretical session of this next 5 days. It would be more interactive, more enlightening, but we'll have to try to get you a glimpse of what we want to do. So civil engineering is what? It is a professional engineering discipline that deals with the design, construction of the structures. So it's a big world, very big world that we are targeting in. It includes public works such as highways, bridges, canals, and lot more. There are huge scope. Again, we will go to our next question. So we still are leading in that private company is the same thing that people are eyeing. We have 71 answers till now, 72. Keep on answering it. I'll ask you a third question. What is civil engineering? This will drive us. It's just a fun question for a lot of people who have taken civil engineering for fun. Okay, it's a big structure. sheer force bending moment. No one for the big money, no one for the common sense. We're still waiting for the numbers. Let's make it more aggressive. It hardly takes 1 second, 2 seconds to put up your answer. Just open your mobile or laptop. Hashtag PROTRANY, put your answers out there. You can see your answers live on the screen. That's what we make it sure that, okay, a lot of people now are coming with a common sense answer. But we only have a couple of people there. I guess we are expecting 250 people out here in the session. Then why are we having only such small answers? We need to get a lot of answers out here. See, this is the only time when someone who's asked you these kind of questions. A lot of people have not seen campuses due to COVID and all. They might not have interacted with a lot of people. They might not have blasted with the answers, but this is your time. You have to make it counted, because that's what we are going to make it. 64 answers. Can we see 100 crossing, please? Because this will give us a great idea. And from here, we will take you up in the next journey. We only have 68 answers, 69, 70, 250, 60 people from different houses, different cities, all enjoying. Some enjoying their maybe New Year's, Gudi Padwas, some enjoying Bengali New Year, some enjoying other festivities, some enjoying the Ramadans. A lot of people, but we need 100 answers to get a bigger picture on what the question we're asking. That's right in front of you. What is civil engineering for you? Is it a big structure? Is it a shear force bending moment and XYZ to the power infinity? Is it common sense? Is it big money? Just a couple of more minutes. Can we get the 100, please? It's not the competition that we are eyeing. It's more what we are currently eyeing is how can we help you more? How can you give you more idea about the thing? So I guess it has stopped at 79. People are busy out. They think that this is okay. We can just put in answers that won't help. But you have to trust us. That's the reason we have put up the question in such a manner that we'll be in a position to take you up. 81 people till now have only answered this question till date. We are not expecting 100. Fine, the answers are still there. You can check it out. You can put your answers. Okay. So as what we say, civil engineering is common sense. Now, a lot of people will tell you it's about big structures. It's about big money. It's about calculations. Those are the basic of what we are doing. But everything, beyond everything, lies the common sense. If you can't imagine what you are doing, if you can't imagine what everyone else should be doing, it can't help you. You need to have that common sense. How in the entire journey of today itself, we will take you up and give you an idea of what we are doing. So a lot of people have an idea. You can post your questions. Feel free to do that. At Slido itself, you have a Q&A. You can put up your questions. I will take that up. So civil engineering projects, what are the projects? A lot of third year and fourth year students think that there are two things, right? One is site engineering. That's all. They don't have an idea. A lot of people don't have an idea. Second is the office. But what more than that? There is site, there is office, but what? There are career prospects beyond it. So there are buildings, there are transportation projects, there are hydraulic structures. A lot of people have told us that they are here for the private company's job and etc. Trust me, people tell you that there is no job, but there are jobs in the construction. But yes, there are constraints. You can't compare IT jobs with core jobs, because ITs would give you a lot of more benefits and the perks and the finances are the first on a big chunk, but steadily it graduates. It's like a slow poison. It steadily graduates. But in a civil, you'll start a bit low, but then based on your experience, based on how you mature as a construction engineer, whatever fields you are, you grow from there. There are least attritions after the initial 2 to 3 years, because once you have decided, I am aiming to be the maybe the Nayak of L&T or someone like that who is into construction. So there are idea that you need to have that what all are the sectors that I should be eyeing to. There are buildings, there are transportations, there are hydraulic structures, there are bridges, culverts, there are flyovers and underpasses. You can consider them as a part of the transportation, but you can also consider them as part of independent stuffs also. Then ports and harbors. Also, you have railways. Also, you have urban planning. Also, you have power plants, steel plants, lot of plants, structures, manufacturing units. They all need civil engineers. No civil engineer, if he has that one thing, common sense, he can't die without money. Because if you have a common sense, if you have a degree at civil engineering, you can excel from there. And your colleges are prepared you accordingly. Only the last polish is something that we are providing in these 5 days so that you can have your mind open and from there you can go and blast it out. Building projects, industrial buildings, corporate buildings, educational buildings, residential buildings, multi-level parking buildings, assembly buildings. So you can see industrial buildings have a difference. You have to have an idea what industrial building and corporate buildings and educational buildings, what can be the difference? Again, here is the common sense. Industrial building will some building where there will be bigger height of machines and etc. that needs to be fixed. So your rooftop level from the plinth level kind of that has to be more than residential one. These are the common senses that you need to put in, then put in the calculations. Then whatever you have studied in the engineering, be it a designer, be it an execution guy, you have to do that. Then the corporate building, you see corporate buildings, a lot of multinational companies, a lot of big corporate houses, they are doing a lot of things. How they are creating those buildings, you see there are a lot of ducts out there. If you have seen how they are being used for a central AC, how the lighting is being checked out, the lighting that you see in an industrial building, the corporate building is different. So accordingly, you have to stabilize your structures that you design. You have to have the architecture in place differently. You see educational buildings, they are made for a different purpose. Maybe they have to have house a capacity of students. So there is a difference. My main agenda of this entire session is to put in the common sense in you. If I'm able to make you understand, that's pretty good. If not, questions you can ask questions. Multi-level parking buildings, there are level of parkings. There are constructions that go from top to bottom, bottom to top. A lot of constructions happen differently. Assembly buildings, where there are a lot of structures all together. Maybe NASA buildings where there would be one where there is some R&D going on. Then there is a associated residential blocks. So a lot of things are there in one, right? So these are the things that building projects take you in. Transportation projects, road transportation, railways, pipeline, aviation. We will come steadily and tell you what skills you need for the road transportation, what skills you need for the aviation, kind of that, so that it helps you, it enlightens you to get to the final agenda of what you want to do with your career right now, standing in your final or pre-final year. But these definitions, these things from today to the next day, you have to promise us that you won't be thinking that only there is site, there is office. No, man. There is site, there are a lot of things we will today take you through. If office, there are a lot of things we will take you through. But from tomorrow, you should have an edge above others who have not attended this session. So hydraulic structures are something that are gravity dams, earth dams, rockfill dams, arc dams, buttress dams. Everything has been already taught to you in your colleges. Now, why we are mentioning this is these are the couple of questions. If you are going for companies who are associated with these kind of industries, they ask a lot of questions like this, so that you get an idea. But main agenda is still there. We're still waiting for that. Bridges, a lot of bridges. You see, people are clapping the bridge that is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. but can you be the next guy working with AFCONs there? If not directly to the AFCONs, can you grow through the ranks from smaller companies to mid-sized companies to out there in 3-4 years? You certainly can. We have seen people out there who have grown through ranks, but you have to be very persistent in the first and second year. The life as a civil engineer is not easy, but for fun, it's obvious. It's not going to be a monotonous life. In the morning, you won't get an idea what you'll be doing in the evening. So that's the fun out of it. Ports and harbors, the biggest industry right now, all kicking up. A lot of companies like Adani, like JSW pouring in, Shapoorji, a lot of companies pouring up, a lot of small scale companies, but you need to understand what these definitions are. Where can we have a cruise or cargo port? Where can we have a seaport? Where can we have a dry port? Where can we have an inland port? Where can we have a fishing port? See, in a short span of time, it is pretty much difficult to elaborate on the quantum of data that we are trying to provide. But you have to come up and check them out. The sessions are still live for the next 5 days. You can ask us questions. We will help you out. Urban planning. Urban planning is also the need of the hour. A lot of, you say, DLF and all those companies are looking for people who have an idea, who have neglected these things: sanitation, drainage, water supply. Lot of things are there that people do not have an idea about. So you have to see what all you can do. Power plants are hydroelectric power plants, solar power plants, wind power plants, and the thermal power plant. See, the whole agenda of having all these is to put in an idea of the bigger world that is hiding from you. Next, we go to the biggest blast of the day. We take you through the journey of site and office and beyond that. It's not site and office, it is beyond that. You have to tell us, you have to tell others what you want to be. If you can see on the screen, there you can be into academics, you can be in design engineering, you can be site engineer, you can be into project management, you can be into project planning, you can be in surveying, you can be in geotechnical engineering, you can be in quality, building, planning, safety, material management, contract, and commercial. Now, lot of you might just have heard about some of these terms. A lot of you might not have heard about or tried to check them out because you were busy on following what was taught to you in the college. You have to understand the colleges try in these 4 years to make you ready, give everything on your platter. But how you put it up in the plate, how you decorate it into a career has to be decided by someone like you. And the college and the curriculum will only be a support and will only be the lifeline, if I would say. But here you have to decide what in academics, what in design, what in site engineering. We'll go to our next question again, so that you can just check one more question. Now that you have already an idea, just put up your answers. What is your bet for the best career option in civil engineering for women or girls? Impressive. Okay, we just have a couple of people out there. Okay, please come, let the answers flowing. We're getting only less number of answers. We'll just try to keep small number of sessions out there. Okay. it's really delighting to see that the engineering students have grown. Like right now, they speak. Many of there would be women or girls who are there in this today's session. They also agree that anything, you are the person who decide on your career. There's a game between design and anything. Design and anything. Sometimes the design is going up. Sometimes the anything is going up. But we understand that anything is something that is still there, making a mark, except in certain cases. So obviously, there is anything that you can do. There is anything that you can do. No one can stop. But now, this thing, the thing that we told you, that what are the career options that you have so that you can decide. You have options. Now, let me have some answers in the Q&A that anyone who has not heard about any of these sectors, just go to your Q&A in Slido and mention which of these career options you want to get more idea or you have not heard about. Just mention I have not heard about planning maybe. I have not heard about billing engineer. I have not heard about quality engineer. These are the hottest things. Add on to this is BIM. BIM is the newest big blast that is coming up in the Indian construction sphere. But still there is some time before it goes to the biggest career objective. That's why you have not mentioned out here, but it will certainly go. So anyone can just go and mention in your Q&A that what is the topic that you have not heard about till now. Okay, someone has written as anonymous that he or she has not heard about contract and commercial. Fine. Any further questions? There's only 2 questions out there. One like, so 3 people. Safety. Okay, great. Let us talk. Let us talk. Academics and R&D. Okay. If you do not remember, you can just see the screen. Academics, R&D, design, site, project management, project planning, surveying, geotech, quality, billing, planning, safety, then material management, contract and commercial. These are the things that we today would be taking up. And today would be the day when we will give you an idea about what are the skills that you can be anyone out of these 260, 230, 240, 120, 60. I don't know how many people are watching us today. So that you would be the person who would be, okay, people have not heard about billing. People have not heard about planning, billing, BIM. Okay. Contract, commercial, BIM. Material management. Contract, commercial. Not heard about contract and commercial, R&D, safety. Only 14 people have questions. They have not heard any. Everyone else has heard everything. See, the biggest problem of civil engineering students in India is that they don't want to speak. They're not outspoken. That is the biggest problem that is killing you in your career. If you can't write, do not take me otherwise. We are here to take you to the next step in the journey. We are here to take you to the goal that you want to go. If out of these many people, we are only having a couple of 18-20 people who have not heard, and I'm pretty much sure that a lot of people have not heard about a lot of things out here. But they're not mentioning. If you do not mention, who is going to clear that out? That's the big question of the day. We have to answer it. Right? We have to answer it that what we want to do. Okay, so we can see all same kind of answers. I'm not still hearing, I've heard about design, but love to know. Great. We will enlighten you. Material management, planning, billing, BIM. Any more answers? 28 answers only. We don't have a whole day to answer. Okay, there are a lot of likes out there, what we can see. See, the screen looks nice. It would be nicer if you just put up your questions out there. It's very well bluish screen on a hot summer day. If you can put in this answers on white, it would be very good looking screen out there. Okay, so regarding the government jobs, yeah, there are things that you can easily get. There are a lot of companies which will give you an idea about the JEE, IAS and everything. But what today this 5-day boot camp is about, the details that you do not get in the open market. If you Google about JEE and IAS, there are a lot of websites that you take you through. But if you Google about what is the skill set that a commercial engineer would be needing, what is the skill set that a billing engineer would need, you won't have proper answer. And that is why we are here, right? That is the thing that we will take up, let's say. So the questions are still open, but we will take it up. So academics and R&D. I can go through slides, but I want to talk to you that what academic and R&D people can do. So if you see, there are a lot of people who are your assistant professors or professors who can go after. They have done their MTechs from premier institutes or any kind of institute. So that is where your academics comes in play. Now, R&D. You see a lot of people do researches about, let's say, materials. A lot of materials they are researching about green cements or lightweight bricks, modular bricks, kind of that. Or maybe a lot of times, a lot of people are working on how can we design more effective buildings and all. So these are the things that are there as a career option for academicians and R&D people. Now, how can you go to that work job role and what is there? So everyone has an idea. For academicians, for MTech, what all you have to do, you have to crack gate, go to your MTech or do something like that. R&D, there are a lot of job roles that a lot of IITs offer to many of the postgraduates, undergraduates to do some research with their professors. A lot of companies, cement companies and all also roll out a lot of options for R&D. So you can apply to all those things. You can get in touch, scan through their website and see if they want people like you. Majorly R&D would be something associated to materials that you see in the construction spaces. That's where you'll be playing with. Then you have design engineering. So what design engineering is? A question we saw that someone was saying that he has an idea that what design engineering has, but he wants more idea. What design engineering is before we conceptualize a product, anything, it can be a building or bridge, we have to understand how the design would go. For this, I will suggest you do not close your eyes and go blindly to any of these career options. Ask yourself that what are the options that you need or that defines you, then go to these options. Like for design, you should have very good understanding of bending moment, shear force, all those chapters that you have gone through. Every ideas should be clear. Else, these basic things are not clear, you won't succeed. You will fail as a person, and that won't help. So you have to decide that what is the thing that you want to go ahead with. Then site engineering, a lot of people will tell you, okay, so design is something, people have some questions, they can put in. I can't delay more on one topic, that is the paucity of time that we have. But design, I'm just giving a suggestion, decide only after you have the basic ideas, basic understanding of lot of design softwares like ETABS, STAD. Do not learn a software for the sake of moving the cursor. I would be a bit harsh on my words, but trust me, these are the problems we have seen in students when we have mentored thousands of them. More than huge number of people we have mentored. We have been in touch with construction companies, we know. When you learn any software, maybe it can be your institute, it can be any institute. Go out, ask them that if I am today learning this skill set, let's say today I'm learning ETAB skills, can I design a building of G+20? A lot of students don't have an idea what G+10 is. There is no harm in asking the questions to someone who knows these ideas. These are very basic things. It is high time that you are in your third year or fourth year that you have all these ideas. So you should have everything that you do, use your common sense. Everything that you want to do, use what and why and how. Then site engineering. A site engineer is basically someone who you think is someone who is runs around in the site and he has no life. A lot of people have that idea, right? A lot of people have that idea that we have no life as a site engineer, they can just. But the basic cradle of learning a project, if you want to be maybe a CEO of a company or owner of a company or the top management of a company in the civil engineering field, you have to spend at least some time in the site, because that will help you brush you up in communications, in basic sciences, in basic observations, everything basic the site will teach you. And it is not easy. Life is not easy, it is harsh. Likewise, site engineering is harsh. Project management, so we'll go ahead. So these are the things, right? Academics and R&Ds that you can have. As a research assistant, you can go ahead. Professor, you can go ahead. Trainers and instructors, lot of institutes you might have seen at your city, online, a lot of companies are training people like you. They need trainers. They need instructors. You can start a career, a good career. You don't need to be a trainer at Akash teaching this final year students of class 12 for IIT. You can be those person earning in good amount. Professional consultants. We have seen consultants who do a bit of research and everything, and then if there is some big problem in the site or any structure, they are the person who get the first call, and they are also heavily paid. But for that, you need to have a very thorough understanding of the subject matter. Now, what design engineering is, right? So I've told you the design engineer work on a product and system that involve adapting using. I, as a person, do not believe on majorly on definitions. I am a person who believes civil engineering is a common sense. If you hear the word what design engineering is, close your eyes, see what are the structures that you have seen that a construction engineer would have done. Maybe your house, maybe a temple or a mosque at your, what I'll say, locality. Can I design that? Can I design a mosque today? Can I design a temple today? Can I design a gurudwara today? Can I do that if I am design engineer? If not today, how can I go ahead? Let's take an example of a gurudwara. I might not be in a position to design the dome, the top position. I guess you know what the dome is. Can I design the pillars? Can I do that? Let's start with these things. If I see a big flat, a lot of you would be residing on the top floors of huge flats. Can I design G+5 building? You have to ask these questions. No one would. You have to. People will come and train you. Doesn't make a sense. Ask them, can I, after learning this course or going through this, can I do that? Again, here your teacher, your professor who trains you in college in a lot of bending moment, shear forces, they will ask and tell you that, do you have an idea about what we have bending moment and shear force is when you are designing? You should have an answer to them also. The aim of this bootcamp is to enlighten you what are the career options, how to decide your career, because you have chosen civil engineering as the first question. Remember, majority of you told that I have chosen civil engineering. Neither your parents, neither your friends, neither the government job, nothing. You. So you will be the person who decides what to do. Software skills, I told you, StatPro, AutoCAD, tabs, MX Road for transportation. So these are bits and pieces of what you should be knowing. But before that, theoretical knowledge of all these things and concept. If I can't visualize how a building would look like after a design, what are the forces that, what kind of live loads, dead loads are going to be there, I as a person is not the right one to decide my career to be designing. You should have the knack of it so that you can make it blast big, right? Now, site engineering, it's the basic thing. As a civil engineer, I also suggest people to go in and check their career as a civil site engineer for at least a couple of months. Harsh, they are. Yes, it's harsh, but it will give you experience of a lifetime. Executing a project is not an easy task. You see those videos fast forwarded, like one floor is created, 2 floor, 3 floor, 4 floor. But people don't know what is the day in and day out task of a site engineer, how to do that, how he or she must have executed, how a quality is ensured, how a proper workmanship is ensured. So all these things are there. Software skills and soft skills rather. So team management, reading of drawing. I personally have been shocked a lot of times when I've seen people who don't know how to read a drawing. If you don't know how to peel your vegetable, how are you going to cook the vegetable? If you don't know which one is the masala, which one is the pepper, which one is what, how are you going to create a dish? The same thing, if you do not know how to read a drawing, how to understand a BBS, how to do a quantity estimation, how to manage a client, how to manage a contractor, how to manage a team, man, you have to have the skills. Either you learn it or make someone to learn it. Make someone so that they can make you learn, rather. Skills, communication skills, basics of quality checks, concreting knowledge. Steel structures are not that much in India, like you might have seen in China or something like that. India is still a majorly RCC based company structures out here, right? So for RCC, you have to focus that you should know what concreting, how to do that, what all those things. Project management. So managing the project, adhering the timelines, right? Now people would ask us, ask someone, ask yourself, what project management is. So project management, you can't get to the first. A lot of people will, a lot of students in the third year, fourth year think that I can go and directly be a project manager. Even for those of you who would go and do their family business, from day one, you won't be in a position to manage a project. If you have not seen a project, what are the dependencies? When the project starts, there is a tendering. Before that, they float the tender. Then someone gets the tender. Then someone gives you a rough idea of how they're going to do the project. A DPR comes in, right? Then mobilization happens. Then the first set of teams or survey comes in. Then the execution comes in. So there is a system 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5, 6, all those things step by step, so that you can then decide that what are the parallel activities, what are the series activities, so that you can decide on your career and you can decide what all you do, right? So be very cautious about the toolkits. Project management is not a small thing. Do not see a small project as a small project. If you are right now also going to work in a small building, let's say a G+5 standalone project, do not think that you will spend the entire life making only those kind of projects. You have to see what is the time that takes to create one flow. What are the dependencies? If there are toilets, then how they're doing the waterproofing. Common sense. Every time you have to focus on the common sense. Skills, obviously there would be team management, leadership, time management, and software. There would be some softwares that are there, like Primavera, MS Project. But at the base of everything, you have to understand the flows, dependencies, and team management. Let me go and check if we have some questions before we go to the next thing. So here we have seen a question out here. If you can see, what is the process of working abroad and do we need experience or eligible directly after the degree? See, it is always suggested that you have the experience, basic experience out here. A small proverb is there that it is better to be the king of a poor mass than be a beggar in a rich society, right? If you are going abroad, if you do not have the exposure, the experience, they will treat you as the lowest cadre out there. Why would you? Because as a human, you are the same thing, right? You will come and beg that I have the degree and everything. Why would you do that? So best thing is you should go ahead and do something beforehand out here, so that then you can be in a position to go ahead and excel your career out there. Though there are a lot of companies, like let's say yesterday we got to know about Indian-based construction company in Dubai. They were looking for 1 or 2 year experienced person to start as a GT out there. So they also are looking for 1 year of experience, right? So that is the thing. There are questions about admissions and everything. Frankly, today's session is more on questions about how to take admission without GATE exam. It's difficult. We have not, except we do not have a quota, let's say, not quota rather, different MP lad and management quotas and etc. I don't think you can get in, but yeah, that's not what we are. Currently, we are expecting more career specific questions, but this is something that, yeah, that's the answer that you can have from us. Okay. Now, what is billing? Can I have some answers in the chat? What is the role of a billing engineer, role of a planning engineer, you think? I'll wait for the chat. This is one of the hottest employment things that freshers can always go in. A lot of companies are right now recruiting. Lot of companies. Small, large. Okay, I'll come back. So any answers I need on how or what is the job role of a billing engineer and a planning engineer, you think? Anyone? Job role of a billing engineer or a planning engineer? Okay, approximate the cost of construction, find ways to reduce the cost of construction. Yeah. Anyone on planning? You have to answer. You have to answer these questions, else we can't help you all alone. You have to, how to get in a management department, and you have to just crack the CAT. They will respect your experience of 1 year. They will surely do, but you have to crack the CAT or any other management exams. You can go in and management take. Daily track of activities, great. Fuz Rahman. Great, that's the thing, yeah. Right. As a billing and planning engineer, you should have the idea of every bits and pieces of how a material is built in or a work is built in. So there are two types of things. One is service. So there can be service billings. Let's say someone has done some task, you have to bill it, but there are units to it. Every billing that you do would have units. Let's say you are doing a concreting, so it would be done in an MQ. If someone is doing a steel bending, it would be in metric ton. If I'm talking about the SI units that we use in India. So all these things, so there is a calculation how you do billings. There is a bar bending schedule that you need to do. You need to learn, you should learn, and that is the most important thing that you should learn, BBS. Then planning. So planning is something I told you, right? That if today I start a site, anyone who is doing the family business or going to start any construction company by themselves, they will plan their life, right? You plan your life after 10th, then 12th science, then engineering. Then also there would be some rough plans in your mind. Likewise, in a project, there is a plan. The project gives you an idea what you would be doing. Let's say today I need this much quantity from March to May. I will need this quantity of steel for my project. From then after that, there will be rainy season, let's say, for example. So then I have to consider the rainy season and plan the material accordingly and the progress accordingly. But then there would be a sunny or winters, then I have to pull the work all together. Or then there is a festivity out there in the month of October when there will be less people. So everything has to be planned so that you stick to the last date. There is a thing called milestone. As in life, there is a milestone in career like class 10, class 12, graduation, post-graduation, kind of that. Likewise, in project, there are milestones. This work, it has to be done in the first month. If it is not done in the first month, the second month target will get deferred. That is obvious. So that is trained by people, and you get to know this using softwares. You have to create that in Gantt charts. Let's say you have to use Primavera or MSP, from where you calculate all these things, plan this up. And for billing, advanced Excel, basic Excel. Just using the Excel won't help. There are a lot of things that you should learn. So you should decide what you want to go at. If today every other civil engineer decide that I want to go in a what I'll say, green building construction, can't do that, right? We don't have green building companies out here in India which would recruit everyone out there. But certainly there are many companies which recruit billing, planning, site, design, BIM, BOM. It's going to be in future. So what BIM is, a lot of people are asking. So it's building information management or modeling, someone says. These are basically technologies, let's say, and softwares you might have heard about, Revit, Naviswork. These are all parts of entire BIM. BIM is an entire thing through which you can design, you can plan everything. And it's more tech-based. So a lot of people who are more tech-savvy, and they also think that they can take this up as one of the big jobs. A lot of construction companies are hiring. Maybe at this moment, outsourcing for outside India. Smaller companies have started in India. L&T and startups have started, but it is surely going to be the future. Revit is the hot cake out here. So these are the things that you should have. Now, as a billing engineer, you should have the measurement knowledge. A lot of people do not know what is the unit weight of steel. What is the unit weight of a reinforcement of 12 mm dia? They might not know what are the dias of reinforcement that are available in the market. You have to learn this. Else, it is not possible. There is 8 dia, 12 dia, then 16. So let's say these all things are there. You should be having an idea, proper knowledge, drawing readings, scrap calculation. See, as a business, like your family or mother or father, whoever is taking care of your family, or many a times you decide that in a month, how are you going to take your entire home, cost and all, right? Likewise, we in a project decide that if I give you a steel of X quantity, humongous, how you as a planning engineer, how you as a billing engineer will make sure that every part of it is utilized. For that, you have to know that. And now you are the same person who can decide that whether these are the career options that you should have. Right? So these are the things. Surveying. A lot of people will tell that what surveying is, that's not a very lucrative task to do, but there is also a lot of career options in surveying. Lot of career options. So, but now till now you might have in the college studied about table survey, chain survey, theodolite. That's great. They give you an idea of the basic. But now it's high time you start training yourself in using or learning the basics of a total station. How a total station works, how using total stations you do surveys, because that is something that is going to tell you about excelling your career from here. Because these are the things, see, everything that you have done with theodolite table and everything will give you a basic idea. But what is in the market? Total station. How to use that? You have to learn. How to estimate. Now, our aim is to make sure that if you are learning something, why you are learning and what is the benefit you would be having. Right? So let's say right now you are having a surveying skills. So after learning how to use a machine, can I calculate a cutting and filling of a construction site? Can I do that? If not, my training has failed. You have to ask yourself. Software skills, a lot of softwares, AutoCAD drafting is the current thing, if you know how to write, how to do AutoCAD drafting, career is huge. Even in the morning, I got to hear someone was needing someone in survey. Handling various survey instruments, total station, auto level, GPS. Very important. Why GPS? You have to learn again. Why would we need a GPS? You might have used GPS to order Ola, Uber, track, railways. Great. Now it is high time you use GPS for your projects, your career, you define. We go back to the first slide where I was giving you more idea about what these things were. Material management, safety planning, right? What is safety? So safety, if I would say, it is the basic currently of any project. Someone says that without safety, any project is not a success. And it is the truest thing. If you have a, you might have heard about the man hours. Every day we work, it is counted as 1 man hour of 8 hours. That's 1 man hour. So if there is a death at your side due to your safety negligence, first of all, as a human, that is not a good thing. That is something that hurts us. But as a project engineer also, it delays your project. There will be litigations, there will be protests, there will be compensations, financial, everything has an impact. So safety is the most important thing. I can't go into a detail into how you be getting in safety, but this is the thing. Health, environment, and safety. These are very important things right now in the project. You should consider the health of every people. You have to consider if there is a hot scorching sun, you have to alter your timing of work. If you are very dusty area, you have to take precautions. So all these things, how to be a safety engineer. A lot of civil engineers have went on and being a safety engineer. There are some specialized courses that you can do. A lot of colleges that you can do a postgrad in that. And also is a very good career, well sought career. You can go and there is a lot of opportunities in oils, mines, ports, and all big construction companies. Every project. Material management is also very important. Like today, I am consuming 100 cubic meter, for example, of cement every day. I have to manage the material that after 2 months, how much I need. That I need to order now, or I have to place the order to the planning. Then how much I need to give to the site every day or every week so that the best utilization happens. How is the wastage calculated? How much wastage is done? What is the percentage of wastage that is allowed? Everything comes in a material management. Some of the people in raw language can tell you a stores management, kind of that same thing. Then the final, and I guess the last pointer of the day, because we already have crossed our time, is contract and commercial. Very important thing, very, very important thing that people do not take into action. Contract and commercial. People have asked us in the question that you could still ask your questions. A couple of more I can take up. I'll tell you what contract and commercial is. So when I, as a contractor, is bidding for a government contract, I should have an idea that how to fill a contract. What are the types of contract? If I am applying to a project at Tata or Adani, I should know that how to create tenders, how to fill the tender, what are the steps to tender. So how to do the contracting, final contracts and all, that after you get the tender, then let's say there is a discussion among both the parties. So all these things are taken over by the contract. It's also a very well sought career. Office job. This is also office job. You might not have heard about this office job. For you, a lot of people, office job was designing, and other thing was that site, commercial. They do the commercial licensing and all. For that, you, after doing your BTech, you can go and do something on commercial, like CFA or kind of that, come back, or CA you can be and come back. It's a very good thing, very good career, commercial. You can take over the commercial department, do the licensings, you create the thing and everything. Okay, so there's a question that's really shocked me. That's why I have to stop out here. Is it good for a fresher to apply for a company for a 5 to 7 years bond agreement? Do not do that. No. 1 year is fine. 6 months is very good. 1 year is okay. 2 years in good companies, if you think there would be a career, do not define your life beyond that. 5 to 7 years is huge. Do not go for that. Personally, I think it's not. If you spend 2 to 3 years in any construction company and grow from there, it will be huge from out there. So that's the thing. Like any suggestions or anything like you want to do, or you can come back to us tomorrow. We'll have again the sessions, and tomorrow we'll take you through a journey of how IT affinity, IT softwares and etc. will be there. And then we'll have 1 day of interacting with you. I need more interactions, more questionnaires to understand that whether you are taking or getting some answers, daily track of activities. Okay, yeah. I guess today's session was something as an enlightenment. Why is it, okay, last question of the day. Why is it getting an internship difficult for a student who does not have any particular background in the field? It's the reality, right? If you want to do a construction internship in a billing engineer, so you should know how to create bills. How does a bill look like? Those all things you should know. So you should expand, like IT students are learning skills beyond their colleges. Every graduate except civils are doing that. Civils are also have to take up. You have to come up, upskill yourself so that you can be in a position to get over it. It's not impossible. There are options. We are also an option. A lot of people are options. Colleges are also doing that. But yes, you should have an idea, and that eases you to get into a PPO also. Right? With this note, we have exceeded 5 minutes, and we respect everyone's time because there might be other commitments on your end. There might be commitments on our team end. From my end, we look forward to see you all tomorrow again. I hope this was a great session. Couple of final Q&As. Any thoughts? How was the session? Any suggestions? How can we make it? As an anonymous also you can put in. We are free to take everything blunt so that we can make it better. You can just mention it as we go from here today. Just use your keypads, write something. How was the session today? And any specific questions or suggestions you think we should have. That will really help us to make it better tomorrow. We'll wait for 1 minute maximum and see if someone is giving us a thumbs up, thumbs down with suggestions. As anonymous, no one can check it out that who posted it, and neither we are going to do anything. So feel free to post your reviews if you have any. We are still waiting for anyone to put in. If you have anything, please do that. Okay, only one person. I think he's not from Protrainy. Who has written the session was awesome. Because people will think that only one person, okay, then he's from Protrainy. Others, please give us some heads up or suggestions or something like that so that we can make it better. right? So we have 3/4 people who don't have that much in the team today. So I am pretty much sure these are beyond Protrainy. Great meeting you all. See you tomorrow, same time, 5 to 6. We'll discuss on the same thing. This 5 days will surely carve out a better civil engineer from you. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.